Hey guys, so today we have yet another watch for you. This time is the Rolex Submariner reference 114060. So it's the latest reference of the no date sub. But before we get into the watch, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you get the notifications whenever we upload a new video, because we are going to upload a few videos. Now that that's out of the way, let's have a look at this watch, the Rolex Submariner 114060. The no date sub. Just to give you a bit of a background information, in 2002 the reference 14060 was updated to the 14060M, where M stands for modified movement, and that watch received the then new Rolex movement 3130, and that is actually the same movement that you find in this watch. So the 14060M was in production until 2012, and in that year the Submariner received yet another update, and that's the latest update, and it became the 114060, so exactly this watch that I'm holding in my hand. One of the updates, for example, was the ceramic bezel that you see on this model, and the ceramic bezel was introduced on the no date sub 2 years after Rolex brought it out in 2010 for the reference 116610. So the updated features of the 114060 also includes fat lugs or thicker lugs compared to the 14060M, as well as a new Oyster bracelet. So the Rolex Submariner 114060 has a 40mm steel case. It's so-called Oyster case. Oyster is the patented name of water-resistant Rolex watch cases, and it's made of Oyster steel. Oyster steel is an alloy that's developed by Rolex. It's in the 904L steel family, and it is used in high technology. Other than the 40mm diameter, the thickness of the watch is 13mm, not too thick, bulky, but as you would have with a sports watch, it's absolutely not uncomfortable when you wear the watch. We're having a unidirectional diving bezel with a 60-minute scale. Unidirectional meaning that the bezel only moves counterclockwise. And the insert inside is ceramic, or as Rolex calls it, Cerachrome, where the numbers as well as the graduations are coated platinum. Another feature of a diving watch, and as such of the Rolex Submariner 114060, is the huge crown, obviously guarded by 2 crown guards. It's a screw-down crown, so you can screw it down, pull it up, and that's how you set the time. And then you can push it back and screw it back on. You can recognize the trip lock system, this waterproofness system. If you look at the crown underneath the Rolex coronet, you see 3 dots. This basically shows us that the watch has, or the watch crown has, the trip lock system. The watch is water resistant to 300 meters or 1000 feet, as you can read it on the dial. The dial itself is black with huge white indexes, round indexes at every hour except for 3, 6, and 9, where you have long flat indexes. Every index is luminova covered just like the hands. Lastly, the watch has scratch resistant sapphire crystal. Underneath the triangle, you see the Rolex logo and the name, and Oyster Perpetual. Above the 6, you see the name Submariner and the water resistance rating, so 1000 feet or 300 meters, as well as superlative chronometer, officially certified, which refers to the watch's movement being chronometer certified. The dial is very highly legible due to the black main color and the huge white numerals and hands. There is no date, as you would have with the classic Submariners. They didn't have a date feature, so the 114060 Submariner also is a no date sub. Rolex also offers a date sub, which has a different movement, but to a lot of people, no date sub is the actual Rolex steel sports watch. Another feature that makes it very easy to recognize the Rolex is the Mercedes hour hand, as you can see it on the dial. Inside the Rolex Submariner 114060, you have the caliber 3130. This caliber was first released in 2001, so it's been on the market, or it's been built into Rolex watches since 2001, for 18 years now. It's basically the same caliber as the 3135, but without the date. So the 3530 in this watch has no date, and the 3135 has the date feature. This is basically a self-winding mechanical movement with a power reserve of 48 hours, 31 joules, and a vibration per hour of 28,800. What's interesting about the caliber 3130 is that it has the parachrome hairspring, which is a hairspring that's developed by Rolex, and it's much higher in resistance, and actually it's blue, so it's very easy to recognize when the watch is open. Previously, Rolex also used Nivarox hairsprings, but they wanted to have their own production, so they came up with parachrome. And then now parachrome is produced by Rolex for Rolex exclusively. The watch also comes on a steel bracelet. The steel bracelet is made of Oyster steel, which is the same alloy as you use in making the case. Every Submariner comes on an Oyster bracelet. Most Rolex watches either come on Jubilee or an Oyster bracelet. Oyster bracelet is obviously very distinct from Jubilees. They are flat 3-piece links, whereas Jubilee has smaller middle links. The clasp is a folding clasp with an Oyster lock safety system. And Rolex also equipped this bracelet with a glide lock extension system, which allows you to size the watch to exactly your wrist. We also have another review out about the Tag Heuer Monaco Caliber 11. Please make sure you check that video out. So this was our review of the Rolex Submariner 114060. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you get the notifications whenever we upload a new video. And if you like this one, then give us a thumbs up. Thank you.